Kurva élet! Hey! Hey! Ha! Nesze! A kutya van magában. A picsába! Feladom! Itt fogsz nekem pityeregni? Nem csináltad jól. Feladom. Elegem van. Ja.
How are you, Henry? May the Lord watch over you, Henry.
You! Stop right where you are!
Ah, kurwa!
Good health to you, Henry.
Welcome, Henry.
God save Henry.
day, Henry.
Good God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin.
May the Lord watch over you.
What are you up to here? Get out of here or I'll call...
Is there something you need? How are you, Henry?
Henry, I'm glad you came. God be with you, Henry. Yeah. Yeah.
May the Lord watch over you, Henry.
I'm interested in your services.
And what is it you'd like?
I'll certainly need a physician to treat my wounds. Then a hot bath and laundering my clothes.
That can be arranged, but you'll pay in advance.
That's too much.
As you wish.
I'm interested.
And what is it?
Get myself fixed up a bit. Have a bath and get my clothes washed.
But of course. Money first, though.
Fine. Here it is.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. God be with you.
Yeah.
Good day, Henry.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You waiting for someone?
Not anymore, young man. I was waiting for you. You look like a clever sort of fellow, and chivalrous too. You wouldn't leave a damsel in distress, would you?
Why? Do you know of one somewhere?
Now, handsome. Don't be mean. I've got a job to offer you. There's an old grandad sitting in the alehouse there. Yesterday he made use of my services, and he said he'd pay me in the morning. Only now he pretends he doesn't know me. I want you to take the groschen he owes me from his purse and bring them to me.
And what do I get out of it?
I'll give you half of what you get of him. It ain't a lot, but it's more than I've seen for quite a while.
I'm on it. I'll be back with the coin before you know it.
God bless.
Got bellyache, have you? That's nasty.
Who's that?
What? What the fuck are you doing? Keep your sticky finger to yourself.
A tankard of ale. I'll have to get my own ale.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
Would you have a job for me? Maybe you're in need of some supplies?
Fresh meat.
No problem. I can go to Ratai and buy some for you.
I could send a stable boy for that. I'm talking about game.
Game? But that's near impossible to buy. I'd have to hunt it myself. And that's against the law. Ah.
Of course, I'll pay you well for anything you bring me. Even more if it's something in particular I want. And if you help me out here and there, I'll teach you something useful in return.
That's an interesting proposition. Are you after some meat?
Indeed. I was going to do hare in cream sauce. I've got everything I need, except the hare. Farewell.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
I've got the meat you wanted.
I'll have a beer.
Great. Nothing like the aroma of fresh game. Here you are. You've earned your groschen. God be with you. That's stolen. What are you trying on me? Get the hell out of here.
Are you after some meat?
I've run out of boar meat. It's a nuisance. Folk come here from far and wide for my boar goulash. If you could bring me some, I'd make it worth your while.
How's trade? Any trouble around these parts?
Nothing we can't handle.
I'd like to learn to fight better with an axe.
Certainly.
Well,
See you later.
Here we are.
Ale for me.
One here.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God be with you, Henry.
God be with you.
I've done as you asked.
Excellent, Henry. I look forward to the latest news from Talmberg. I hope Captain Robot rubs the commander's nose right in it.
Have you got any more jobs for me?
Of course, you're just in time. I could do with a horse, and since I'm setting the task, I'll go further. I'd like a strong stallion direct from the Merhoyed stables.
Now, that's no mean feat you're asking.
As well I know, and well I'll pay.
I'll steal that horse for you, but the rewards had better be worth it.
Don't worry, but you'd best not come back with some old nag.
God be with you.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right, let's see what we can do about that.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first, I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless, and we had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Neuhof? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I hear you had quite an adventurous life after the seminary.
I like to leave the past in the past. Now I'm here, and the life I have suits me just fine. Wine, women, and mass.
I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church, the lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Přišla bída mora hlad, to neustojí žádnej chlap. Na kraj padnul děsnej smutek, kdo měl nohy ráno utek, děti v mouženství maj sad, kdo včera žil, dneska je prach, už sej bojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejt v jejich kůži, nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si huby jako poslední den. Půjďme se váhy, ano rada slávy, a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu soudnej den, tak nalej mi hned, ať točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out. Oh.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Come on then, bailiff.
Hey!
Bastard. You'll get your penance now.
Oh dear.
Thou shalt not hurt thy neighbor.
Landed.
Yeah! Ow!
So, my dear, wouldn't you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it if you stopped gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then. Come on then, what's the holdup? We've no time to waste.
I thought he'd never show up. The swimp.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Brothers and sisters in Christ, I would like to talk to you about our Holy Mother Church and what iniquities it's declining into.
That boy has a cheek.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone. It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honour to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So's gluttony. And fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Obsidiary!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Good day to you. Take care now.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Aye.
Here you are, with a little top-up.
My word. Thank you kindly.
Good day, Henry. God be with you.
What do you know about these rumours?
There was an accident in the monastery, and there are rumours going around that it was because of bad quality stone.
And isn't it possible one bad one might have slipped in there somehow?
No, it's slander. Maybe they start thinking this quarry's too expensive and they found themselves a new one. Whatever's behind it, I want to know about it. Good luck, then. Yeah.
How are you, Henry?
Yeah.
Welcome.
God be with you, Henry.
gonna do?
Garlic, carrots, beetroot, onions, all that grows in the ground. Fresh. Come right up. Vegetables, fruits, apples,
My respects to you. Farewell.
Can you show me how to repair armor and weapons better?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot?
Agreed. Now listen up. Good luck.
Vegetable.
Good people, come up close and have a smell. Asparagus that'll
pull
tilt you
yourself
in.
Hey, Henry, come to see us. Ah! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you.
Would you happen to have any work for me?
Of course I would. And, surprise, surprise, it's another ring.
Like last time?
Properly done this time. Proper hard work. And who else to set the task to than you? The ringleader, so to speak. The thing is, one of the rich townsmen left his ring behind the last time he went to the baths for some wenching. Too drunk to see it, no doubt. And now he wants it back, and the baths deny all knowledge.
Why not turn to the bailiff?
Why not? Because he doesn't want anyone to know about his bathhouse visits. And the girls in the baths are wary of selling the ring in case the bailiff does start looking for it after all. So we'll make life easier for them. What do you say?
Consider it done. Provided I get something out of it.
Don't worry. You won't be left short. The ring's hidden in the chest in the bathhouse madam's chambers. Come right back with it once you have it. Good luck then.
Can you tell me... what's Sahan's capon like?
Ah, that worthless dandy. Sir Hanush has to knock some sense into him, or I dread to think what will become of this place when he takes over.
What's the local lord like?
Sir Hanush? He treats his people well, but he's tough as an old oak. The way things are these days, I wouldn't wonder if he and his men started kicking some asses.
Do you know Sir Bernard, the rat-eye captain?
He's a grumpy bastard, but fair, I'd say.
What about the Skalitz folk?
God sent them to punish us for our sins. They don't work, they just idle around begging. And you want to keep a close eye on your belongings when they're around. I'll be glad to see the back of them.
Do you know anything about those Cumans?
The heathen scum that Sigismund brought here. Why do you even ask? You've seen with your own two eyes what they're capable of.
What do you think about everything that's happened?
I don't concern myself with the doings of my betters. But this mess isn't good for business. Them two brothers should sort things out between themselves without dragging us into it. I don't give a damn who's king, but that usurper from Hungary has gone too far.
That's all.
You've an honest trade. How come you got mixed up in crime?
Evil times. The harvest failed, and there was no grain to mill, and a child to feed on top of it all. I had no choice. And meanwhile, the lords in the castle and the monks in the monastery stuffed their craws to bursting. Where's the justice in that?
So you took justice into your own hands, is that it? And now you take whatever you need?
Pull your head out your arse, Henry, and take a good look around you. Wars come and go, but nothing really changes. It's the poor that do the dying, and the nobles who reap the rewards. We have to survive somehow, so why concern ourselves with morals? Goodbye.
May the Lord watch over you, Henry. Take care.
Yeah.
How are you, Henry?
Greetings, Henry. What's going on out there?
He doesn't look...
Have you heard anything about the Cumans in Sigismund's army?
Terrible things. Horrible. I hear they skin people alive. And what they do to the women folk. Better take your own life than fall into their hands. Beasts they are. Animals. God bless.
That sounded like...
God be with you, Henry.
That's odd. Nothing here.
Yeah.
I have that ring for you.
Excellent. They'll be hopping mad at the baths once they find out. Here's your reward, and don't turn it all into drink. Good luck, then.
So what are we to do with you, Henry?
I've brought you something.
Have you got a moment? I'd like to ask a few questions about Skalitz. I don't remember much.
All right. What do you want to know?
How did you get me away from Skalitz?
It wasn't easy. Sir Robard and his men helped load you on a wagon and we harnessed an old nag the bandits had left behind. The soldiers escorted us all the way here, God bless them.
Why would Zbyszek do that? I never thought much of him, but banditry?
He was always a nasty piece of work. Doesn't surprise me he joined them. If you knew what he did to me.
Tell me.
When those Cumans, they call them. When the Cumans came, Zbyszek pushed me out in front of them and fled. He sacrificed me to save his own hide.
That bastard! How did you get away from those Cumans?
You're wrong. If it hadn't been for you... When they came to the mill, they slaughtered everyone. And kept me for last. After you distracted them, I fled to the mines to find my brother, but he... My brother was dead, but I owe my life and more to you.
And I owe mine to you. The scales are balanced. What about the bandits?
Sir Robard and his men routed them. They killed the few, but the giant who attacked you fled,
Welcome,
and Zbyszek
Henry.
with him. It won't be safe in Skalitz for a while yet.
Where's the sword I had?
You had a sword? It's gone now. Those scum took everything, including your horse.
I don't give a damn about the horse. I stole it anyway. But my father forged that sword for Sir Radzig. I promised father I'd take it to him. I have to get it back.
Well, you can't. Just be thankful you're still alive.
What happened to the other survivors from Skalitz?
They sought refuge in Ratay, and some of the Ratay folk are none too happy about it.
And Matthew, Fritz and Matthias? Johanka? Did they make it?
They're alive. I heard Matthias is at the stud farm in Merhoyed. Johanka is in Sasau, and Fritz and Matthew, well, you know them. They're up to no good somewhere. The only trouble they'll be in is of their own making.
What about Sir Radzig?
Sir Hanush, he's the Lord of Ratay. He gave his lower castle to Sir Radzig, a place called Perkstein. Sir Hanush lives at the upper castle. The Skalitz folk have made camp in front of it.
I won't trouble you anymore. Let's leave it be.
So, how have you been?
I can't stop thinking about Skalitz.
I know. It was hell. But life has to go on. Why not clear your head and try to forget about it? At least for now.
What do you mean?
Do you feel like a walk?
That's not a bad idea. I've got lots to do right now. But I'd love to go another time. Will you come and see me again?
As her ladyship commands?
You jester.
I'd like to know... How are the Skalitz folk getting on?
They're alive. That's the main thing. They have shelter, but they're just scraping by. Rattay's citizens aren't happy the town is full of beggars who don't look like leaving anytime soon.
That's all.
Yeah.
Good day to you. Farewell.
Yeah.
Hey, who's there?
Be off now, you... Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
Riki? You mean Hinek, the courier's son?
Maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
He's not usually around here. Try asking at his home, but I hope you've got a thick skin. The old courier ain't exactly charming.
So you know this Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
Hey,
Not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
No one with a nose likes spending too much time around Tanners. And that Riki keeps bad company. I've never heard a good word said about him.
What was that?
Why do they call Hinek Riki anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you're ever downwind of him, you'll understand. Tanning isn't a trade for the weak of stomach.
True enough, but not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well,
Who's there?
the Hinek's nature is no sweeter than his smell.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
That sounded like...
What was that noise?
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone. And then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Rattay for thieving.
Hey, is
And in Neuhof, he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies, and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits.
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
He's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches.
What was that?
Adela, I believe she's called.
What the hell was that? God be with you.
Jesus!
My respects to you.
Is something troubling you?
I wouldn't say it's troubling me exactly, my boy, but I've heard talk about the Sasso blacksmith and I'm losing sleep over.
What talk might that be?
They say they've heard him chanting when he tempers steel, and that nothing of his ever breaks.
Using spells to strengthen steel? That sounds like old wives' tales to me.
That's what they say. They say he's always muttering something, and if anyone catches him at it, he stops at once and gives them dirty looks.
Maybe he's just praying.
Well, he's getting help of some sort, whether it's prayers or something less holy.
And, how could I help with that?
Simple enough. Go there and find out if there's any grain of truth in it.
I suppose asking costs nothing.
Just don't ask him outright about any sorcery.
Don't worry, I'm not that daft.
Good, good. And don't worry. You won't be the poorer for it. Once you find out what's what, I'll find a way to recompense you.
All right. I'll go and see if there's anything to the stories.
Good. But be subtle about it. Don't go embarrassing yourself. Or me. Good luck to you.
Hey, who's there? God be with you.
I'm looking for your son. Any idea where he might be?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes? It's important.
Hynek shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick and Harry?
Your son is about to get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
But this time his neck's on the block. He got mixed up with some very dangerous people. I have to find him.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow.
Hynek makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
Well, it's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Thank you. Don't you have any clue at all where his hideout could be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there, is all.
How's that?
'Cause every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose. He never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
No. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him coin. Of course, it could have been for me.
All right. I'll ask at the inn then.
Go. And if he's really in as much shit as you say, please, try and find him.
My respects to you.
I noticed the targets. Are you an archer by any chance?
I notice you're asking questions. Are you the Inquisition by any chance?
No, I'm Henry, of Skalitz.
From Skalitz? I'm Vatek, from here. Why are you so curious about the targets?
It's just that I sometimes try my hand at archery too.
Try your hand, do you? I know plenty who do. When you can score as high as me at chumps, then I might be impressed.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Never played chumps? And you call yourself an archer? All right, Henry, listen up. Chumps is a game for real archers. It tests your strength, stamina, and accuracy. And it can be a nice little earner. Unless you're, well, a chump.
So what exactly is it?
I'll tell you. A bunch of logs are floated down the river. Then you count to 20, and the archers run along the banks after the logs. At the end of the course, someone collects all the logs and counts the strikes. Whoever has the most, always meaning me, wins the bout. Each archer has 20 arrows with their own coloured fletching, and the contest ends when the last log floats through the finish line.
Sounds like good fun.
Fun? My friend, it will bring you out in a proper sweat, and you'll be well pleased to hit just 1 or 2 blocks. So how about it then? Fancy a bout? You'll need your own bow, but I'll supply the arrows with coloured fletching.
Sounds interesting. Maybe some other time.
Well, if you ever want to gamble away pots of money, just ask. God be with you.
I heard you've been seeing Hynek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I seduce decent men?
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
Aye, I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I could tell you about him.
When did you last see him?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He keeps prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy to me.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, looters, cumans, and God knows what other vermin around, it's not the sort of thing an honest man would do.
But Hinek doesn't have anything to do with those people.
Oh, really? Then what does he do there? I don't imagine he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinek is a bit odd and sometimes he goes off into the woods. So what?
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it. But he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye. And then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
I found out that Hinek goes poaching in the woods and he's got a hideout there. What do you know about it? Don't worry. Hinek has much bigger problems than being caught poaching. And you're not involved in it anyway, are you?
No, I'm not. It's true he used to go hunting in the woods sometimes. When he came back, he'd usually come to me. That's all.
How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught, and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction. Anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the woodcutter's camp, 'cause he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
Good. So at least I know where to start. What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl, and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me, and we could get married and such. All just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand.
God bless. Hey.
What the hell was that?
God be with you, good sir.
What's happening around here?
Ah, you know how it is. Always something. Now I think of it. I've not seen Kunhutta here for some time. The local herb-woman. She always comes here once a week for a tankard of ale. But she ain't turned up recently. I hope nothing's happened to her. And that's not all. Like that sake has started an archery contest here. If you want to try your luck at winning a few groschen, you should go and see him.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
Well, ask someone else. They've nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
About the goods Riki owes you.
What about it?
Well, supposing I settle the account for him and you stop dodging my questions and tell me what I want to know.
I suppose that would be all right.
How much is it?
Before he vanished, I paid him in advance for 5 heirs.
We can settle things right away. As it happens, I have some game with me.
Let's see it then. Have you got it or not? God be with you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I've got that game for you.
Splendid. Some of the customers have been asking after it. Have you got it or not?
I've got that game.
Have you got it? Splendid. Some of... That looks pretty good. So, what do you want to know about Hinek?
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is... I don't know where it is at all.
But
I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
how do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft. Take care now.
Have you got a bed for the night?
Aye, there's room here. For how long?
Just the one night?
No problem. But you pay in advance.
That's quite a lot. Can we discuss the price?
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you.
Where do I go to sleep?
That's easy. As soon as you go indoors, at the end of the room on the left, there's a door leading to the chamber. Everything's prepared for you there. God bless.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
At them men! So, you want my money? Just try and take it. Well, I never. The pig turns up willingly for the slaughter. Is that all you've got? Ah!
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I'm looking for Hinek, the courier's son.
Riki? Aye, he shows up here sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm trying to find him.
Good luck, then.
What do you mean?
Riki is like some bloody hedgehog, always creeping around in the woods. And just as prickly.
So you see him there often?
More like we don't see him.
Has he been here recently?
A few days ago. He came by in the evening, well into his cups. He might have fallen somewhere and broken his neck for all I know.
So he went into the woods?
Aye, like always.
How do you know him?
We worked together building a mill by Yanovitz, and then he vanished. A year later I came here to work, and lo and behold, there's Riki.
Do you know what he gets up to in the woods?
What do you reckon? Making money. It's no secret he goes poaching.
You're speaking as if that's perfectly legal.
No, that's not allowed. I know. I mean, I think he might be poaching. But maybe he's gathering firewood. No way for me to know, right?
Firewood, of course. I hear Riki has a hideout in the woods somewhere. Do you know where it is?
Aye, I think I was there once.
You think? What does that mean? Either you were there or you weren't.
Well, once me and Hinek had a bit of a drink together here, and we ran out of ale. Hinek said he had some stashed away in the woods, so off we went.
But do you remember anything about it? The direction or which path you took?
Aye, I can tell you exactly. We went from the edge of the camp here along the path down to the creek. A little upstream, there's a fallen tree bridging the water. We went across it to the other side, then we went uphill to a big boulder. You have to listen carefully there.
Why?
There's a spring nearby. Someone put a kind of little mill wheel on the stream below it. You can hear it going clap, clap, clap all day and night.
Uh-huh.
Once you find it, you go around the spring and nearby you'll see a clearing. That's where Hinek's hideout is. It's an old mine gallery or cave. Farewell.
What's that? Hey, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You call that combat? Yeah! Ow! Allez, tu prdele! Dear
God.
From Runt. Where's your share?
Fuck you. You're killing
What's going
me.
on there?
Ah! I might. Or I might take you to Runt instead. You wouldn't like that much, would you?
No.
See now. What use is money to
What's
you
going
when
on
you're
there?
dead anyway?
Hey,
My
who's
old
that?
man.
You're
Blood will be spilt!
Bugger!
Stop! Hear me? Stop! I give up!
Pay up, and I'll let you go.
All right.
Mercy. Oh, damn it. He won't hold out for long.
Help me. Please.
What happened to you?
Ranson and his people. They found me.
What happened at Neuhof? Who's coming for you?
Rand's people. Loyal. What a fucking mess.
Why?
We didn't want to kill nobody. Only they're savages. We ran off.
I'm looking for those bastards who attacked Neuhof. Where can I find them?
They've got a camp.
Where? Come on, tell me.
I don't know. I've never been there.
So how do you know about it? Who told you?
My mate, Timmy. He was there. But they might have got him by now.
Where can I find him?
He works at the windmill by Myriad. Unless they've killed him already.
What can I do with you now?
Help me. Please.
You're a thief and maybe a murderer. You deserve to die in pain.
No. Don't leave me here. Please.
What did you do with the money?
What money?
The coin you got from Runt. Where's your share?
What's that? Fuck you. What's going on there?
Well, I never. The pig turns willingly for the slaughter. Is that the best you can do?
Kurva! Enough! Oh.
Enough, please.
Pay up, and I'll let you go.
I agree.
What? I'm where?
I don't know.
So how do you know? Where can I find?
You work.
What can I do with you?
Help me.
I'm sorry, but there's no help for you in this world. Not anymore.
I know. Help me. To the next one. Please.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm looking for a Colossus by the name of Timmy. I heard he works here.
I don't know anyone like that.
Listen, someone wants to kill him. I have to warn him.
But I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen and listen well. It'll be better for everybody if you tell me. I'll be happy to know where I can find him. You'll be happy I don't have to get nasty with you and Timmy. I'm sure Timmy will be happy to stay alive.
You don't want to hurt him?
No, like I said, I just want to talk to him.
All right, but not here. We'll talk round the back, behind the mill.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Do you know Timmy? He's a big man and,
A complete numbskull? Aye. He works here. Or he used to. I'm not sure. He vanished a few days ago. Far as I know, no one's seen him since. But try asking his sister, Mirka. She works here too. Good luck to you.
Here I am. So, why all the secrecy?
What do you want from Timmy?
Can you tell me where to find him?
Promise me nothing will happen to him.
Why do you care so much?
He's my brother. He's not very smart, you see, and he's always getting led astray by his no-good friends. And now there's some right peculiar characters looking for him.
Who are they?
I don't know. But they look like cutthroats, and they said some strange things. But I didn't tell them anything.
That's good. But sooner or later they'll find him anyway. Tell me where he is and I'll take care of him.
He's hiding at the Colburn farm, over by Merhoyed.
get the feeling you're looking for someone here. I'm looking for someone too. Maybe we could help each other.
And who are you looking for?
A great big ox by the name of Timmy.
That's interesting. I'm also looking for a big ox called Timmy.
Well, what are the chances? Could it be the same fellow, I wonder? Now, if someone were to tell me where to find Timmy, I might offer that man a job. We could use a smart fellow like that at the camp.
You have an encampment somewhere?
Well, sure we do. And no shortage of coin if you're ready to earn it.
Where is it?
Ha! All in good time. First, prove we can trust you. Help us find Timmy.
I hear he's hiding in Ratai.
Oh, yeah? Where in Ratai?
I don't know. You'll have to find him yourself.
Sounds like a pile of horseshit to me. Stop wasting my time and spit it out.
All right. I'll tell you where he is.
Really? Why would you do that?
We're all Christians here, aren't we? Why not help thy neighbour? Especially if he pays 2 score groschen.
Ha! You wouldn't be my cousin by any chance. I'll give you 2 dozen, no more. Half now, and half when we find him.
Deal. I've no idea where he is. I reckon I'll have to try my luck elsewhere.
Think you can get away with that? Take my coin and then say you know nothing? Where the fuck is he?
You don't know when to give up, do you?
The one who has the upper hand does as he pleases. Boy.
True. Only you don't have the upper hand.
Well, look what's come crawling out
willingly
under
for the
some
slaughter.
rock.
Call that a combat?
Curse it! What's the matter? Come on.
Is that the best you can do?
Here, that hurts! I'll slaughter you! Bring it on!
Come here, Lily.
Giving up already?
Call that combat?
Ow.
You get what for?
Well landed.
Is that the best you can do? I'm
Show what you're made of.
Finish you off.
Fucking hell.
I'll slaughter you.
Weak at the knees, have you?
Way off.
Bring it on.
Want to live?
I enjoyed it.
Then give up.
Bugger this.
Come here, Lily Liver. Should have fucked off while you had the chance.
better put that weapon away, or you'll be asking for trouble.
Here I am.
What?
Why do you...
And now...
Who are they?
I don't, but I...
That's...
I get the feeling I'm looking... Now if...
Alright. We're all Chris...
Ha! I'll...
Deal. I hear he's hiding...
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
Sounds like a...
You don't know...
The one who...
True.
You're in
Answer
the wrong
to my
place
prayer.
at the wrong
Just
time.
when I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
What's the matter? Come on!
I'm going to enjoy this.
Now.
Is that all you've got?
Well landed.
Bring it on!
Oh! Fucking hell!
You're dead. I'll slaughter you.
Give up! Shit, leave me be! Enough, you win!
Is that the best you can do?
Here I am. So, why all...
What?
Who are they?
I don't know, but...
That's good.
I get the feeling I'm looking...
That's interesting. I'm also looking...
Well, now it...
Alright. I'll tell you where he is.
Really?
We're...
Ha!
Deal.
The...
True.
Well,
we got here?
What's come crawling out from
Entertainment.
under some rock?
You get what for?
I'll slaughter you.
Is that the best you can do?
Don't make a mistake getting on the wrong side of me.
Here I am.
But...
get the...
All right, we're all... Oh, you don't know when to get...
Well, now,
We got here.
what's come crawling out
Bring
from under
it
some
on.
rock?
Great.
Oh! Ah, yes. You're dead.
I'm gonna enjoy this. You'll get what for.
Call that combat. I'll slaughter you. Ah!
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
Show what you're made of. Bring it on.
You'll get what for.
Is that all you got?
What's the matter? Come on. You must be here somewhere.
Come on.
Forward. I'm going to enjoy this.
Hey! Yeah!
I'll find you. I'll slaughter you.
Oh! Yeah.
Here's to a good harvest.
Here you are, and good health.
I could do with something to eat.
I'm glad to see you.
How's trade? Any trouble around these parts?
Around here? The ones who've got it worst are them at the Neuhoff stud farm. Getting things up and running again without old Smill would be a job and a half. His widow Zora's a fine woman, tough as they come. But, well, she's a woman still.
Is there somewhere I could...
Certainly. For how long?
Just...
No problem. You'll like it.
Let me have some grub. Whatever's quick.
Where do I go to sleep?
On the upper floor of the inn. There's steps up to it outside. Your chamber is the one in the middle.
Are you quite well?
What the fuck do you think you're doing? Look out! A thief!
What the fuck? You're trying to rob me! Pickpocket!